Tell me about this food plot. I understand that this field is typically double cropped. This was a fall food plot, and now you're turning it into a spring food plot.
Right.
Tell me a little more about the prep work and the. I see some dead weeds. What are we looking at?
Okay. What we had out here in the fall was actually our legume buck buffet with, and so you can still see some of the medics and the burr clovers. And we came back in here about 2 weeks ago, and we sprayed at the top of it with 2,4-D just to get a good top kill on any weeds and set the clovers back and kind of get everything to kind of quit growing as much as you want it to. And now Terry's coming in today, and he's prepping it for our spring buck buffet, which y'all are going to take a look at him planting. And basically he's coming in and just tilling with our simple disc and tractor equipment, and we've got a drag here that he'll drag and firm everything up with and cover it with. But this is where we're at right now.
Full bed preparation. We better get out of the way.
Yeah, there he comes. And he does kind of a double pass on it, so he's not gonna have to come back. Pretty much this stuff is pretty well ready to go on top and broadcast, and then run the drag back over and plant. So
seed bed preparation, especially for small seeds, obviously is critical for success. Do you agree with that? Getting it smooth, getting it level, breaking up the big clods. Of course, we have some front coming, so timing of all this is more critical than anything.
Correct.
But
and paying attention to soil temperatures, you know, for the type of plants you're putting in. You know, in the fall we get a lot of people come in. Oh, we put our grains in, or some is late August, early September, and it rained and everything's sour. Well, they soured. It was too hot yet for them to come up. And the same in the springtime on the opposite side. You know, we'll get people rush in. It's late February, early March, or you know, that type of year, and they're wanting to put some of these peas and all this stuff in the ground, and you want to wait till, you know, watch the farmers around your area when they're putting in soybeans and that kind of a plant. That's when you can go do it. If you're doing it before them, there's a reason why they aren't out there doing it too.
Watch the professionals.
That's right.
Seek professional advice.
That's right.
So there's no need to go through this exercise if it's going to fail from the beginning.
That's right.
We're spending a lot of time and energy and money, so do it right. Spend your money wisely. So a good seed bed preparation, quality timing, quality seed. Obviously, I never recommend people go buy the cheapest seed on the market, or if it's on sale, there's probably a reason. You know, go to a Pogue Agri Partners, go to an established seed distributor, dealership, and buy the seed. It's good quality, pure live seed. So spend your money wisely, and you'll see some of your successes much quicker. And
Terry did broadcast last week. He did put out a low nitrogen phosphate potash mix. Again, we're not trying to put much nitrogen out there. Actually, we really like to stay away from any, but you can't hardly buy a fertilizer without some nitrogen. So he had a real low nitrogen phosphate potash mix that he put out here broadcast, so it's getting disked in the soil right now also. But what we're planting here is all legumes. It's a mixture of cowpeas, different varieties of cowpeas, soybeans, a couple varieties of soybeans, 2 varieties of lab, a little bit of cream sorghum. So it's a real good, popular
again,
mix.
The buffet, the variety, so that it spreads the growing season and the utilization, the effectiveness out. And so the blend costs less as maybe one particular individual, but it lasts longer.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more expensive than if you went out and just bought a bag of cowpeas by themselves, or but you're spreading your risk on soil types, you're spreading your risks on maturity. Some of this stuff's going to come on quicker, some later. The deer are going to have a chance to go through and work on different things, and also they're pre-inoculated, so you don't have to mess with inoculation.
You said earlier about pre-inoculation. Tell me a little bit more about inoculants, the why, the how. Why don't we mess with that?
The importance of inoculant for legumes is for their ability to take the oxygen in the air and fixate it through the plant and put nitrogen into the soil. So without inoculation, the plant doesn't as efficiently do that. And so, you know, if you don't inoculate, or you're going to skip the inoculation process, then I'd say you probably need to put nitrogen out there, because the plants aren't going to fixate nitrogen in the process as you keep going through the plot plantings every year.
So the inoculant's probably cheaper than the nitrogen fertilizer.
Absolutely.
So again, spend your money where it's most effective, most efficient.
Right.
To get the most bang for your buck.
Right, and each plant has its own specific rhizobium inoculant. So you can't just buy one pack of inoculant and go, this is going to inoculate everything. I mean, you've got different inoculants for cowpeas, for soybeans, for lab, for bundle flower, all take, you know, for the winter peas, the clovers, the alfalfa, everything takes different types of inoculant. So you've got to make sure, if you're doing it yourself, match the correct inoculant with the plant.
Would that be a process of where you spread the seed into the seed bin, put the inoculant on top, and then manually mix it? Or
yeah, you can do it two ways. There's clay type of attaching inoculants that you can buy that you can do on a dry application. Most are done with a slurry peat moss type of inoculant that you're going to mix in maybe a small butter bowl or something, and you pour real Coke with the sugar base on it to make it sticky, mix it up, make yourself a slurry, syrupy kind of mix, and then pour it over the seed, mix it onto the seed will attach with it, and then let it dry maybe a half hour or so, and then put it in the ground.
So it's still very easy to do in the field.
Yeah.
It's practical, has field application.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we do it mechanically with our seed coating machine.
Right.
We attach the inoculant, then we encapsulate it with a talc and close the inoculant into the seed and hold it there until it's ready to go when it gets planted. So yeah, there's two ways to do it.
And that's probably one of your secrets to your success, and why y'all are so able to grow food plots in the Wild Horse Desert consistently year after year, like we've seen to date. We've seen plants planted 4 and 5 years ago that are now knee high. So I think that speaks volume for Pogue Agri Seed. So appreciate you having us out here today, Keith.
Thank you.
And I look forward to everything.
All right.
What we're doing now is we're harrowing, or we're smoothing out the dirt. Again, we still haven't planted anything. We've disked this up. You know, they sprayed it to kill the weeds. They've disked it up twice. And this is right after disking, you see the dead and dying weeds, but you also see the valleys, the big dirt clods. It's very rough. So they're doing what's called a harrow, and they're leveling this out. You see the clods are being broke up, but look how much more smoother it is on this side as opposed to this side. So this is the perfect seed bed preparation, especially for small seeds. So he's going to finish harrowing this field, and he's going to come back and broadcast it, and then one more time lightly cover it up. And of course, that method there is the broadcast feeder, broadcast seeder. You notice it's covering about 15-20 yards from across. Now, it's not the most recommended way, but for small seed it works great, and we are planting a blend that has some small and medium-sized seed. So obviously he's going to plant this field, and then you'll see in the last segment where he lightly harrows it again. He's got the perfect seed bed. He slung the seed out. He's going to lightly cover it, and this food plot's ready to go. We've got a light rain coming down. The conditions are perfect. Soil moisture is perfect. This plot will be up in a few more weeks, and we'll come back and check on it.